ما بتصدرنا أمريكا وأوروبا إرهاب. نحن بنبيعوا المخدرات.
So we're currently doing the BBC pop-up story booth. Basically set up a camera in random locations about town and we ask people what stories they want us to do. Yeah, don't worry. Say whatever you want to say.
So I suggest you guys go to the Beqaa Valley because it's controlled by Shias and a lot of Shia drug lords.
I'm nervous.
I was told that Lebanon has a lot of hashish.
I guess it does.
Try to find out where the supply of hash or hashish is coming from. How would it be better if it were legal in this country?
Fantastic. Awesome. You guys are awesome. All right, looks like there's only one story we can do then. Hashish. Let's go find Pablo Escobar. Cannabis has been in Lebanon for centuries, but I quickly found that most people weren't keen to talk about it openly on camera. Punishments just for smoking can be harsh here, so people don't want to admit that they do it. Eventually, I found someone who'd written extensively about hash in Lebanon, and he agreed to talk, as long as we didn't show his face. Tell me what I need to know about hashish in Lebanon.
Everybody smokes hash. It's so common now, across all classes of people, all regions.
What is the law?
If it's not your first offense, it could be anywhere from 6 months up to a year. If you're a dealer, it becomes between 3 and 5 years. Everyone knows someone who was caught. When sometimes you need to get a urine test for the judge, some people actually charge for their urine because they're one of the few that actually don't smoke.
Really?
But no one really talks about it much because it's still extremely stigmatized. The person who suffers through that will be ostracized from the rest of his social circles.
Who's making money from hash?
Everyone is making money from hash, from the growers who need it because nothing else is viable for them to grow, the dealers of course, and sadly the people that are interested in fighting drugs are also making a good chunk out of it. But the only people really paying the price are young people.
Where do you find the dealers in the country?
The big dealers are usually in the Beqaa.
I wanted to speak to one of these growers myself, to ask how they could possibly justify a trade which is illegal and I'd heard violent. So we headed to the Beqaa Valley. During Lebanon's civil war, cannabis cultivation flourished here, and I'd heard the war in Syria was causing something similar to happen now. So we're just arriving into the Beqaa Valley. This place is pretty much the most dangerous and lawless part of the country. It's very close to Syria. In the very recent past, this place has saw ISIS infiltrations, kidnappings, bombings, and a host of not very nice things. But it's famous for something very different to all of that, and that is having absolutely massive Lebanese hashish farms. We've arranged to speak to a Lebanese drug lord, and it's going to be interesting. Let's hope it ends well. Army base.
Yeah, army base.
Put this
Don't,
down,
don't,
put this down.
put this
Okay. So we're actually near Syria.
Yeah, Syria is actually right this way. If an infiltration happens, it's going to happen through here. So there's a lot of checkpoints here to also make sure nobody's going towards Beirut, because most of the suicide bombings that happened in Beirut, everybody came through the Beqaa Valley.
Currently waiting for the hashish farmer. He's asked us to come here because he doesn't want us to turn up to his house yet because he doesn't know who we are. If you look over that mountain there, just behind it is where you'll find ISIS, where you'll find groups like Jabhat al-Nusra. It's pretty dangerous. Okay. Nice to meet you. How you doing? Thank you for having us. Yeah, I feel nice, you know.
Yeah.
Nice with the knowledge that there's a couple of grenades in the back of the car.
Oops, sorry.
Oh, there's another one. There we go. Okay. There we go. He's just handed me a... Is this an AK-47? No, the gun. It's coming back out. It's just pass the gun around. Does everyone know who you are, that you're the kind of kingpin here? So if we tell someone we're with you, we're safe? There we go. That's when you can tell someone is a bit of a drug kingpin. This house is about 10 times bigger than everyone else's in the area. It's actually like an episode of Narcos, really, it is. It's all fun and games, but if you piss this guy off, it's game over. Do you have kids?
عندي شيء 17.
17 kids.
حاول مبينين.
It's a lot of loving going on.
إذا تروح تمشي على الروشة بتلاقي أولاد بيشبهوا.
How you do? You got a golden pistol. Shit, I'm just being handed guns like nobody's business. I don't know. Is it loaded right now?
إيه مليان عوز.
Oh my god, he's just pulling out a machine gun and a bazooka.
بعد في خير الله.
Is that a bazooka?
كده قاذف RPG.
Who the hell is this guy? What do you use the bazooka for?
ضد داعش ضد
Oh really? You've used this against ISIS?
هاي كله سلاح ضد داعش.
Ali told us that recently the so-called Islamic State infiltrated a nearby village. He says as soon as he heard about it, he jumped in a truck and picked up weapons with some other hashish farmers. This is hard to verify, but according to Ali, they won and fought them off. Why do you have so many weapons? Do you have to defend yourself quite a lot?
بس ساعات بتقرب الدولة بس ما بتصير صار لها سنة مش صاير.
Because they're distracted with ISIS, they're distracted with kind of the threat of Syria.
لقابل سوري ما حدا بيطلع له. كده هيك أو هيك.
Have you actually fired this? Have you like walked like...
ايه بقوز. شعارنا العشاير اقتناء السلاح قبل لقمة الأرض.
Is this where the magic happens?
هاي غرفتي.
Why did you choose black and red?
بحب هاي الألوان.
You got good taste. Is it the hash money that bought this house basically?
لولا الحشيشة ما في بيوت. نقعد بخيمة. هاي الحشيش.
This is the farm. Can you just give me a tour? Okay, here we go. Wow. Mountains of hashish.
هذا النفط اللبناني هو أحلى حشيشة بالعالم.
I mean, hash is illegal in Lebanon. How can you be so open about it?
السياسيين اللي عندنا مش شرعية. كلهم جيان مغتصبين السلطة اغتصاب. هن مش شرعيين، احنا الجماعة الشرعية.
It's just hash everywhere. I mean, I'm just soaked in hashish. How much hashish do you make?
يعني بيطلع عنا سنوية بالمليون مليون ونص دولار. كان ما ينزرع هالكميات هاي. بالأزمة السورية تشجعت كل الناس صارت تزرع.
Who's buying this hashish?
مثل ما بتصدرنا أمريكا وأوروبا إرهاب، نحن بنبيعوا لهم مخدرات.
I mean, how do you get hashish from here to Europe?
كل الدولة اسمها أسرى. جماعة السلطة 90% منهم بيرتشوا.
It's difficult to verify Ali's claims about the government, but Lebanon is thought to have big problems with corruption. You remind me a bit of someone like Pablo Escobar. You're happy to appear on camera, you're saying you're helping the poor.
حاضر له على التلفزيون صح. أفلام مش واحد بس ماسك التجارة. كل الناس بتزرع بتتحالف مع بعضها لتدافع عن رزق.
So have you actually been convicted by the government of anything in a court?
أنا حكمت إعدام. توجهت أنا إياهم لأني دورية كبيرة لإلهم. قتلت منهم 6. بعد ما وصلت رحت قعدت على الشارع وفلحت.
How does that feel to be sentenced to death?
عادي روح اسهر.
You know, you have a hashish farm, you've killed a lot of people. I mean, do you not deserve to go to jail?
لا ما بستحق روح على الحبس. لو الدولة مأمنت لنا شي بدل ما في داعي نزرع حشيش.
I mean, if you run this country, would you legalize hashish?
أو بشرع الحشيش أو ما بأمن بدايل للناس.
You seem like a difficult man to kind of pin down, because on the one hand you say you farm this to try and make money for people in the area, but then you also kill people and you are dealing in an illegal trade. So do you think you could have done it another way that wasn't illegal?
هلا ما في بطريقة شرعية كيف بدنا نساعدهم، ما في غير زراعة الحشيشة، ولا مرة قتلت كنت مغلط. اللي ما بيغلط معي ما بقتله، بس اللي بيغلط معي بقتله. بضل بوجهي لنخلص أنا إياهم.
Do you think I'll get in trouble with the police when I go back to Beirut because I've got hashish leaves on my shoes and on my clothes?
ايه هن بيتعلقوا شي واحد هيك، بس هن بيحملوها بالطونات، بس إذا لقوا واحد على ثيابه غبرة بصيروا بدهم يحاسبوه.
Alright, that was a weird day. Ali is like a really friendly uncle who also happens to be a killer and a drug dealer. And he was massively open about it. But yeah, back to Beirut now. bit concerned because we've all got hashish all over us, and if the police find you, you can get in serious trouble and be put in jail. So, yeah, we're gonna have to try and dust ourselves off.
They've probably got sniff dogs as well.
I know, that's what I'm a bit worried about, because this checkpoint's all the way back. Ali escorted us out of his village, as he said it was unsafe to do otherwise. Then, we headed back to Beirut. Despite being covered in layers of hashish from Ali's factory, we headed straight to the police office. I wanted to know how Ali could be so open about this without getting in trouble with the authorities. A lot of people I'm speaking to here keep telling me that the police are far too quick to punish the small-time consumers and are way too reluctant to punish the big-time growers in the country. So, to see what the police think of that, I've agreed to speak to the head of drug enforcement here to see whether he agrees. Let's go. Hello.
Hello.
We're going...
Arabic or English?
English.
English, Colonel Shamasi?
No, General CHAMSEDDINE. BBC. Yeah.
Yes.
I'm not purposely this close to you, the lift is forcing me. So where are we going now?
To the basement.
So what are in these things?
Hashish.
Do you consider hashish as bad as captagon, heroin?
The hashish is the most dangerous drugs for the human being.
How many people do you arrest each year for hashish?
We arrest thousands of people, 100 for drugs dealer, but 1,000 for addict. 2,000, 3,000 during the year. I can put you in jail for 3 years.
3 years
if you
for
smoke
smoking?
hashish. Yes. All the boxes inside we have drugs. In Beqaa Valley we have agriculture, big agriculture for thousands square of land for hashish. You know about that?
Yeah, I mean we went to a farm.
Oh, okay.
To see.
You went to a farm.
Yeah, I mean
okay.
that was one of the most amazing things is seeing that there's a hashish farmer.
Yes,
he was willing to go on camera to talk about the fact he's selling hashish. Is it not illegal to grow here?
Not legal, yes, not legal.
So how does he get away with growing hashish and talking about it?
Since 2012, when the war rise up in Syria, our government hesitate to take decision to send us and destroy the hashish.
So you actually can't go and tackle these guys now because of the fact that there is the war in Syria and that resources are elsewhere.
Our ability, it's not enough to make big ride to
impact.
there, okay?
Yeah.
Because most of guys there have maybe weapon more than
the
police.
When we went to this farm, the guy was kind of, taking out all the weapons that he has.
Yes.
Boasting that the government can never touch him.
Nobody can touch him. If I have 100 soldiers, I can go and put him like a mouse, okay?
On the one hand, you have these drug kind of dealers and hashish farmers in the Beqaa who can get away with it and talk openly on TV about growing hashish. But then you have people who are small-time consumers who are scared to even talk about smoking it. How has it got to this point?
It's a good question. It's really something make ourselves very upset, okay? We are interested to put the drugs dealer and to put him in jail for hundreds of years. We deal with the addict and the drugs user like sick people.
One argument the farmer would say is that there's nothing else for him to farm apart from hashish. The government hasn't given any support.
He's liar. They try to make that legal because here benefit to make the hashish legal. It's war between the good guy and the bad guy.
Would it not make society safer in a way because you wouldn't need to have drug lords, the government could control the hashish farming, you wouldn't need to lock people up?
Yes. I cannot expect in some day the hashish it will be legal in Lebanon, okay?
It's clear that the war in Syria has had a huge impact on the police's capability of stopping Lebanon's drug lords. But that doesn't mean they've stopped arresting people for smoking hashish. SADEK was sent to jail a few years ago over a hashish conviction. It was eventually overturned, but it changed his life for good.
I was an AB student, straight A, and my life got to a halt because I was sent to Rumi prison for just smoking in jail.
So what actually happened?
Like, they got me, I went to the station, they put me on a torture device. It's called the flourish, where they handcuff you, pass a stick here, and you're upside down. I was 19 at the time.
How long were you in prison for?
I was in prison for a year and 3 months.
Did they find hashish on you when you were arrested?
There was no evidence.
I mean, did they arrest you because they said you were a drug dealer, basically?
Yeah.
Did you deal drugs?
Not at all. Never. Like, I don't need to.
What was the worst thing that happened to you in prison?
I got knifed. It's a horrible place. You find killers, you find Daesh. Block B was like controlled by ISIS. Like the social destruction of it was the hardest part about the whole experience. No, this guy has been to prison, Rumi prison.
I mean, some people would say you are doing something illegal. So do you not deserve to go to prison?
To me, it's not illegal. What am I doing? I'm smoking and I'm staying at home, but I'm never gonna stop smoking in Lebanon.
It is crazy though, it's almost ruining your life. Got you kicked out of university, you got stabbed as a consequence, and you're still smoking hashish.
It was the government. I don't blame hashish, I blame my government.
Are you a criminal? Do you see yourself as a criminal?
To the government, they made me a criminal. I'm not, for sure. I'm a nice guy. I just smoke.
SADEK's story shows just how serious the consequences can be for messing around with hash here. And despite calls from some politicians in the country to legalise it, it doesn't look like much is going to change anytime soon. What does seem possible is a situation where growing it and even exporting it illegal, but just smoking it can get you in big trouble. Some would say that's even happening already.
What the f do? I just talk about something? Okay.
Is he a Pablo Escobar who is like after season 2? Or is he a Pablo Escobar in like episode 1 or 2 still running for president? You know, no one knows anything about him yet.
What do you know about hashish?
I don't know anything. I'm innocent.
Hashish, obviously I don't know that much about hashish.
What do you know about hashish?
Not that I tried, no. I know nothing.